All right, let's talk about building credit. If you're starting from square one, you are in the right place. We're going to break it all down step by step, so think of this as your personal roadmap to getting started on the right foot.
You know that feeling? Like you've walked into a party where everyone else seems to know the secret handshake? Yeah. If you've ever felt that way about credit, you are definitely not alone. It can feel super confusing when you're just starting out.
And that's exactly how we're going to treat this. This isn't about some final, scary destination. It's a journey. And over the next few minutes, we're going to unfold the map for you to replace any of that anxiety with some real confidence.
So first things first, what are we even talking about when we say credit? Because it's a whole lot more than just a piece of plastic in your wallet.
At its very heart, credit is all about trust. It's basically your financial reputation, all wrapped up. Every time you use credit responsibly, you're building a track record that tells lenders, hey, you can count on this person to keep their promises. It's all about proving you're reliable. So, that whole reputation thing, it gets crunched down into a single 3-digit number. And I know, it can seem totally mysterious, like some kind of magic. But it's not magic at all. It's just math. So, let's pull back the curtain and see how it's actually calculated.
Now, you might see a few different scoring models out there, but we're going to focus on the FICO score. Why? Because it's the one most lenders, like the vast majority of them, are going to look at when you apply for a car loan, a mortgage, you name it. This is the big one.
And here's the secret recipe. This chart lays it all out. Just look at those two giant slices of the pie. First, you've got payment history, weighing in at a massive 35%. This is the heavyweight champion. It's super simple. Do you pay your bills on time? Right behind it at 30% is amounts owed. The other pieces are smaller, but they all matter in completing the puzzle.
Okay, enough with the theory, right? Let's get practical. To actually build credit, you need a tool. And for most people, the perfect place to start is your very first credit card. Think of it as the training wheels for this whole journey.
So when you're starting out, you basically have two main options, secured and unsecured cards. The big difference is that security deposit. With a secured card, you give the bank a small cash deposit, say $200, and that becomes your credit limit. It's a safety net for them, which makes it way easier for you to get approved. Unsecured cards don't need that deposit, but they can be a bit trickier to get right out of the gate.
So let's look at your best bets. A secured card is often the surest way to get a clean start. Student cards and retail store cards are also great on-ramps, though a store card usually only works at that one store. And here's another great option, becoming an authorized user on a parent's or trusted person's card. Their good history can give your score a nice little boost.
Okay, so you got the card, now what? Well, using it responsibly really all boils down to two simple, non-negotiable habits. If you can master these two things, you are golden.
This is rule number one, and it is the absolute most important. Remember that giant 35% slice for payment history? This is why. Just one late payment can ding your score and hang out on your report for 7 years. So set up autopay, put reminders in your phone, do whatever you have to do. This is the habit to build.
And here's the second golden rule, and it comes down to one number, 30%. This is about something called credit utilization, which is just a fancy way of saying how much of your available credit you're using. The general rule of thumb is to keep it below 30%. So, on a card with a $1,000 limit, try to keep your balance under $300. Want a pro tip? For the best scores, people usually aim for under 10%.
Okay, can we just bust a huge, super expensive myth right now? You do not, and I'm going to repeat that, do not need to carry a balance and pay interest to build credit. Your payments get reported whether you pay in full or not. So please pay your bill in full every single month. It builds credit just as well, and it doesn't cost you one single penny in interest.
Look, the road to good credit isn't always going to be perfectly smooth. It's totally possible your first application might get denied, or you might make a little mistake along the way. That's okay. The key is knowing how to handle those bumps when they pop up.
So if you do get that dreaded denial letter, chances are it's for one of these reasons. When you're just starting, it's usually because you have a limited credit history. Lenders just don't know you yet. But it could also be about your income, other debts you might have, or even a simple typo on the application. Applying for a bunch of cards all at once is another thing that can raise a red flag.
So what do? First things first, don't panic. And definitely don't just go and apply for another card right away. By law, the lender has to send you a letter telling you why they said no. Read that letter carefully. Then, go pull your free credit reports and check for any mistakes.
Once you figure out the issue, you could try again, maybe with an easier-to-get card, like a secured one.
All right, let's zoom out for a second. Why are we even doing all of this? The careful applications, the on-time payments, well, it all leads somewhere really, really important. Just remember, building credit is a marathon, not a sprint. This timeline gives you a pretty realistic idea of what to expect. Once you open that first card, it'll probably take about 6 months of activity before you even have a credit score. After a year of good habits, you might be able to get an unsecured card. And, within 1 to 2 years of being consistent, you can build a really solid score.
And why does that score even matter? Well, because a good credit history opens up some pretty big doors in the real world. We're talking about actual savings and opportunities. Lower interest rates when you go to buy a car or a house. That can save you thousands of dollars over time. It can even be the thing that gets you approved for that apartment you really, really want.
So your credit journey, it starts right now with one small step. Maybe it's researching a secured card tonight, or checking your credit report this weekend, or just setting up autopay on a bill. Whatever it is, that one small action today is what starts building a stronger financial future. Trust me, your future self is going to thank you.